Hello, and welcome back to another edition of Carrie's Gardening Channel. So today is October the 24th, 2020, and what we're going to be talking about today is some of my top favorite annual cut flowers. Now, I wanted to do this video a little differently, but unfortunately I had hurt my knee, so it's going to take it about 10 days to heal, so I had to do the video a little differently. So I know for a lot of you, like the gardening season is over. Now their gardening season is just starting. For mine, my gardening season is over. I do have this stuff still growing in the greenhouses, but most of my stuff outside, with the exception of my straw flowers, which they made it when it was 28 degrees out. They actually made it through all the frosts and stuff, and they're still out there happily growing and going, so that's nice. But I wanted to give you some lists so you could do some research and check out some of my favorite varieties for growing cut flowers, and maybe if there's something on there that you want to add, you can do some research on it and add it to next year's growing list. So one of my top favorite flowers for growing is straw flowers, and there's a lot of different varieties of straw flowers. There's real tall varieties, and then there's some dwarf varieties. Now, most of the time for dwarf plants, I don't recommend those for cut flowers, but the Tom Thumb straw flower, that one's pretty good for cutting. And the nice thing with straw flowers is there's a lot of different mixes out there, and there's a lot of different varieties. Some of my favorite varieties are like the Swiss Giants, the Tom Thumb. There's a tall double mix, that one's pretty neat, and then there's some single colors. The purple red and the single colors is one of my favorites. Now that one there is pretty neat. The coloring on that one is that dark of a purple that sometimes it will actually look black, and that's pretty neat, like for accenting and different things. And the interesting thing with straw flowers is, like, the more you let them open, you can get some different colors in them, because like as the petals unfold, there'll be different colors inside. Like I've had ones already where they were like orange, and as they started opening on the inside of the petals, they were yellow. So that's pretty neat. And I did do a video on my channel for straw flowers, and I did like for how to dry them and different things, so you can check those out on there. I did quite a few videos for straw flowers. So another flower that I like to grow for cut flowers is zinnias, and there's a whole wide range and variety of zinnias out there that you can choose from for different colors. I know Envy, that one's pretty neat. That's a green one. Now if you get it in more shade, it's more of a green color. If it gets more sun, it kind of turns like a yellowish green. And then like they have the candy stripes, that one's pretty neat. It's like whites with I'm trying to think of the colors. It's like a red stripe through it, like if you'd taken a marker and just pinstripe the whole thing through. And then there's like a yellow with the red. So that's a pretty neat mix right there. They have the Zowies. They have the Cinderella. I've grown that one already. That one wasn't my favoriteest, but I did grow that one. I tend to stick with the giants, like the giant zinnias, because I get the real big nice flowers with it. And I grow a lot of the Luppets. Now a new one that was new for me this year was the canary bird zinnia, and I really like that one. I am going to be keeping that one. And now one thing with growing zinnias are prone to powdery mildew, especially like if you live in an area where there's a lot of humidity. They do tend to get powdery mildew, and that's something that I deal with it every year on mine. And there are a few things you can do to help prevent powdery mildew. You can use neem oil, you can mix cinnamon in with the soil when you plant them, and a few things like that, and that'll help to prevent the powdery mildew. Now another flower that I love growing for cut flowers is celosia, and whether you grow the plumes or the crested, it's a very interesting plant to grow. It's very unique looking, and I really like it for mixing different things in with your bouquets. And then there's Status. I love Status. Status is kind of like a filler in for your plants, and it comes in a wide range of colors. It's really nice kind of for like filling in between like your zinnias or your celosia, or if you have maybe like a dahlia that you put in there and you kind of need some stuff like to take up that extra space to kind of fill in around it. Status works very well for that. Another one of my favorite cut flowers is snapdragons. And snapdragons come in 3 different forms. There's a single standard form, there's a double, which is your butterfly type, and then there's an open-faced one. Now, my favorite open-faced one is Labella. Unfortunately, though, I haven't been able to find it in, I think, like 4 years now. I'm not exactly sure what happened with it. It was a really nice mix, and I really liked it. It was a single mix, had a nice fragrance to it, but for some reason, I can't find it in the seed catalogs or online anymore. So I had to go with, I believe it's the Chantley, and that one's okay. It's just the Labella was my favorite. For the double snapdragons, Madam Butterfly, that's the variety that I grow. It's a nice double flower. It's a little bit different. It is taller. It tends to fall over, so you do have to stake it. And then you have, like, for the single standards, the Rocket series is one. There's a tall deluxe mix. There's a lot of different varieties of snapdragons out there. I've grown the Lucky Lips one already. That one was interesting. But kind of, if you want something a little different, it kind of adds like that spike to the arrangement, so it's a little bit different. Kind of adds like a little bit more texture to your arrangements if you're looking for like some texture to add. Snapdragons are a good way to go. You can also do sunflowers. There's multiple different colors of sunflowers out there, and they're pretty interesting for your arrangements and stuff. Just make sure, like with your sunflowers, that you equal your thing out so that they don't fall over. Like that your bouquet doesn't get top heavy and fall over on you, because you know you don't want to put all your work into it and have everything fall over on you. Now, another favorite cut flower is dahlias. Dahlias are pretty neat for like arrangements and different things, and there's a whole lot of different varieties. Now, the huge dinner plate dahlias, they will be top heavy, so you will have to stake those if you choose to grow those. And especially if you live in like a high wind area, they're probably going to fall over. So definitely stake the plants, or you're going to have all your stuff kind of like laying on the ground. So, and the dinner plate dahlias, they're very big flowers. They're very big, like for arrangements. So if you want like a main focal point, one of those would be, you know, pretty good for that. But again, watch that your arrangement doesn't get top heavy and fall over on you. And gladiolus make nice cut flowers. Gladiolus, they're beautiful. They come in a lot of different colors, a lot of different mixes. Now, you do have to start those from the bulbs, and you have to dig them out in the wintertime, as if you live in a cold climate. But they're beautiful and cut flower arrangements, and they have that nice spike appearance to them, and that's one that's really pretty for your cut flowers. Now, you can do the cosmos. I have done those already, but the flowers don't really last too long. So it was kind of a downfall to the cosmos, is that from, in my experience, the flowers didn't last very long. So that was one of the downfalls of that one. And like your salvias, they make nice cut flowers. The hummingbird series and the jewel series, they're really pretty. They come in some different colors, and they're nice to give like a different element to your arrangements. And there's so many different types of flowers out there. There's bells of Ireland. They're pretty neat. Now, the only thing you gotta watch with the bells of Ireland, they have little pricks on them, and they will get you. So just make sure if you're cutting your bells of Ireland that you watch out for the pricks, and you know, like when you're working with them. But bells of Ireland are really pretty, and arrangements, And there's so many different types of flowers out there that you can work with and do arrangements with. I'm just naming off a few that are some of my favorites. So, you know, if you've never tried any of them, you can look them up and see, you know, maybe if it's something you want to add to your garden. So if you have a favorite cut flower and I didn't mention it on here, go ahead and put it down in the comment section. I would love to read about it. And if anybody ever grew that Sweet Annie, go ahead and tell me what you think of it. I'm thinking of adding that to my garden next year. So I've never tried it, so I'm kind of looking for a little bit of input on it. So you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Another one of my favorite cut flowers, and this is one that I just started growing this year, is bunny tails. And they were pretty neat. I like the texture that they add to arrangements. And I did do a video on my channel for cut flowers. You can check that out on there. I also like working with marigolds. And there's a lot of different types of marigolds out there. And I do use marigolds in my arrangements. It gives my arrangements a different texture. And I like, you know, how they kind of intermix with everything else and all the different flowers. So that's another option too, marigolds. And marigolds are pretty easy to grow. Now, the flowers that I mentioned on here, with the exception of the Sweet Annie, because I never grew it before, I do have videos on my channel for how to grow them and start them from seed. And like I said, I did that video on my channel for how to do cut flowers. And I go through the greenhouse and different flowers outside, and I cut them, and then I do an arrangement with them. So if you didn't see that video, you can go ahead and check that out. So if you like my video, please like, comment, subscribe. Please don't forget to hit the little notification button that will tell you as I put a new video on. You can also follow me on Twitter. I have a link down in the description for my Twitter account. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye!